Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Trev and Lev Show here on YouTube.com, where we talk SEC, Tennessee, and everything CFB. I'm Trev. He's Lev. He's Lev. And we like to thank you for tuning in. Today, we're talking SEC, everything CFB, and it's going to be some coaching carousel and also some playoff projection near the end of the video. So stay tuned for the end of this one. Let's just hop into it here. We had Georgia and Florida on Saturday. Georgia coming up with a 24-20 victory. Another close game. Yeah. This team will never win a game. They'll always win in close games the rest of the season. It's just a thing at this point. I saw someone, I saw someone earlier today on Twitter say, is this Georgia team like Ohio State's last year's Ohio State team? And I'm like, no, because Ohio State had an insane defense, and Georgia's defense is not good.
I think this Georgia team is the worst Georgia team under Kirby in the last few years.
Yes.
But they're just they're so weird because they're not bad on offense or defense, but they're not great on either.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the most mid, not mid because they are a top 10 team because they've won all but one game.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the most mid in the sense of there's nothing special about them.
No.
They're winning games. And I think that says more about their coaching staff than it says about this team.
Very good point.
I think their coaching staff is one of the best in the country.
Yep.
And their team is just they're a good enough team to win games, but they're not like an elite unit or anything.
This should really tell you that Kirby is probably the best head coach in the country.
Oh yeah.
I mean just you're right though. The question also is though, how much longer are they going to be able to get away with this, man? This makes the Texas Georgia game so interesting to me, so interesting, because both teams are kind of but they're both winning games. So what's going to happen there? I have no clue. That'll be a very fun game. But the Florida side of this, real quick, I mean, they haven't given up. They actually should have won this game. But, yeah, I don't know. They haven't given up. I heard someone say, "Oh, they're gonna quit now that they lost this one." Trust me, they will be up for the Tennessee game. That's going to be a very difficult game for Tennessee. They always get up for that game.
Yeah, I don't feel confident about that game at all. And honestly, it's not because I think Florida is necessarily an insanely better team than Tennessee or anything. I think it's just because history tells me Tennessee's not winning that game. And that's really my only reasoning for it.
Yeah, history.
Florida definitely, having Napier fired definitely has helped them. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Billy Napier is not calling the plays anymore. And it's we know this Florida team's bad because of Napier.
Dallas Wilson, Florida's star receiver, has only played a couple games so far this season. Star freshman receiver was absolutely killing teams. He is out for the season with a foot injury. Huge blow for their offense. He was their big playmaker. So just something to keep an eye on there.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have Texas and Vanderbilt. This is probably the best game Texas has played all season from an offensive standpoint. Opening play there, you see, I think it was a 75-yard touchdown pass, just like a screen pass. They smacked Vandy at the beginning of this game, and Vandy kind of clawed their way back into it. Second week in a row, though, I've not been impressed with Vanderbilt at all. They've had. I know Pavia threw for 365 yards, but I just feel like they've majorly struggled on offense. See, he's their leading rusher too with only 43 yards. They're a running football team. They don't want Pavia to throw 38 times every game. That's not their goal. This is the second week in a row where I thought their rushing attack was very much shut down. Credit to them for fighting, though. They were down 24-3 at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely think this Vanderbilt team, I don't think they're like an insane team. people are like, oh, like Pavia is a Heisman or whatever. But they are a good team, and them coming back says a lot um, about Pavia and this team that they're not going to give up. And I think if you're a Vanderbilt fan, that's something to really, even coming out of a loss, I think moral victories or moral losses or whatever are dumb. But I think it shows a lot about the grit of the team, and it would make me feel confident going into the rest of the schedule that they could win out going
They could,
forward.
they definitely could. I mean, their only test is Tennessee at the end of the season.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
Tennessee has shown a lot of flaws, so it's
yep.
definitely a winnable game. It's going to
And
be
if you
good.
win that, you're in the talk to make the playoff.
Yep.
So yeah, that'll be an interesting one for sure.
But Texas, I mean, how do you let them come back into that though? Because Texas is a good defense, and I don't know.
I think they just got that. So Vanderbilt just started chucking the ball around. I think it's one of those mentalities where you're like, okay, screw the game plan. We're just gonna throw the ball around and see what happens. Because I mean, they're down. They scored 21 unanswered points in the fourth quarter there, so they're down what 34-10 in the fourth,
Yeah.
and they let them come back. I don't know. Texas isn't going to be able to get away with this much longer. We just talked about Georgia. Neither one of these teams are going to be able to get away with this the rest of the season. Someone's going to lose. One of those teams is going to lose another game.
And that's the funny thing is they play each other.
Right. They play each other. Other than that, though, I think one of those teams. I mean, Texas plays A&M at the end of the season. I think they lose that one.
Texas has at least one more loss.
At least.
That's the thing.
Maybe
we're
one
just
more.
looking at the rest of their schedule. They don't really have any.
It's
tough
Texas
left
and
aside
that.
from
Texas and Tech.
and Georgia Tech. But the thing with Georgia Tech is I don't think Georgia Tech. I think Georgia Tech's good, but I don't know if they'll beat Georgia, to be honest.
We got more ACC talk near the end of this episode.
Yeah, so
Very
we'll
bad
get to
day
that
for the
in a minute.
ACC.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Mississippi State, Arkansas, the crap bowl. The Bulldogs pull it out. Good for them, man. Good for them.
Finally pull one out. You definitely don't want to be a head coach losing to the interim head coach that's on the chopping block. So it's a good win. It's a good win at Arkansas too. Good away win. They needed this. But this pretty much just cements the fact that Bobby Petrino will not be coaching at Arkansas next year.
Good thing for Arkansas too.
That's a really good thing for Arkansas fans. If I was an Arkansas fan, I would honestly be happy you lost.
Yeah.
Because honestly, though, even if Arkansas did win, I don't think they would have kept Petrino either way.
Probably not.
They already moved on.
The worst part about this for an Arkansas fan is you were up by 14 points at multiple times in the game and you lose. That sucks. That sucks big time.
This was just a battle of the teams that choke games, and just one team has to choke more than the other, and it just happened to be Arkansas this time.
I think I saw something. Arkansas lost 7 games combined. I think I talked about this last week. Updated 7 losses by a combined score of 19. So they've less than 3 points a loss. Really unfortunate for them.
That's pretty bad. Like, not bad in the sense of like, it's just bad that you can't finish games.
Yeah.
These two teams are very similar, though. I feel like.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. So,
but Mississippi State, I think Mississippi State was definitely the better team here. Kentucky and Auburn. Hugh Freeze fired. Getting into that later in this episode. I'm shocked Kentucky won, honestly.
I'm shocked, but honestly, it's about time they won an SEC game. I don't know what's gonna happen with Stoops, because we can talk about it in the coaching carousel, but it's just like I don't know if he actually is gonna get fired. Should he? Yeah, probably, but I don't know if he will. This game helps.
I don't think he will, honestly.
The funny thing is I didn't watch this game, be completely honest. But when I heard they won. I didn't know if it was at Auburn or at Kentucky. But I said to my dad, I bet you the game was not at Kentucky. And I was right.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with Kentucky, but they have random wins on the road, but they can't win at home. Because I saw a really funny image after the Tennessee Kentucky game. We're looking at it. Tennessee has more SEC wins in Kroger Stadium, which is Kentucky's stadium, than Kentucky has in the last three years or whatever,
Yeah.
which is, or 4 years I think. They have won two games at home against SEC teams since 2021, and Tennessee has beat Kentucky 3 times since then. But they've beaten random teams on the road in the SEC.
That's really hard to do, actually. That is actually really hard to do.
Yeah,
Something about this Kentucky offense just got a lot better when they put Bully into it. He didn't start until halfway through the season.
yeah. I don't
And
know. Yeah, I mean,
yeesh.
we don't know who their coach is going to be going forward. It might be Stoops, but I think this Cutter Boley guy, if he stays at Kentucky, which I think he will, because he grew up Kentucky.
He's a huge Kentucky fan. Yeah.
He could be a pretty good quarterback for them in the
Yeah.
future. I mean, they don't have
Obviously didn't have the
talent.
best day, but yeah. I mean, he came off that week against Tennessee. He didn't have the best day. I think one of the interceptions was pretty lucky. It is a really good Auburn defense, and I mean, if Auburn's offense was worth the crap, they'd probably be one of the better teams in the SEC too. So, yeah, weird game. If you thought being a Tennessee fan was bad on Saturday, at least you're not an Auburn Tiger fan. So yeah, Ole Miss and South Carolina. This game was close for like the majority of the game. Kept checking on it. I don't know, man. Ole Miss. I still feel like this is the best Ole Miss team that Lane Kiffin's probably ever had. But man, they really do like to make things interesting. I know it was 30-14 finish. But you see there, Mississippi or Ole Miss scored 10 points in the fourth quarter. It was 20-14 heading into the fourth there. I don't know, man. It's just South Carolina will always fight and make games interesting, but this Ole Miss team needs to learn how to put teams away better.
Yeah. I don't know what's
And plus, Kiffin might have something else on his mind.
Yeah.
So there's still. You still basically have to sharpie this team into the playoffs, though. So
yeah, I think they're pretty much a lock. I don't know what the rest of their schedule looks like, but I don't imagine they have many tough games left. They have Florida and Mississippi State. So yeah, they're pretty much. Yeah, they're
and it's Florida at home. It's Florida at home. I think I could see them losing to Mississippi State on the road just randomly, but they're still
two games. They have to lose 2 games.
Yeah.
There's no way they're losing to both.
But who's their best win?
Oklahoma, then
That's
LSU. I don't know.
So they have
they're a
schedule
lot
too.
And they have
They're
a
a
good
lock.
loss. They have a good loss. The committee has been known to factor in good losses, which.
So they need another Georgia loss. They need another Georgia loss to make the SEC championship game, right?
Probably.
Because Georgia's also one loss in the SEC, but
Although
head to
Georgia
head.
lost to an SEC team.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah.
So they need Texas to beat. Yeah, so they're not going to make it. They're probably not going to make the SEC championship
No,
game,
but they're going to win. If they definitely if they win out, they're getting it. If they lose one more game, it's more of a toss up. But I think they're pretty much a lock right now.
They have not been impressive against the average teams on their schedule, but they've been really impressive against the good teams on their schedule. So I could see them winning a playoff game.
Yeah, I could too, especially depending on where they get who they get matched up with. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
To see, but
so speaking of playoffs, we got the SEC or the ACC on Saturday. Bad week for the ACC there. 2 of their top teams lost to unranked opponents. Georgia Tech falls to NC State on the road. Miami falls to SMU on the road. Both those teams. Let's see, what's their record? They got SMU is 6-3. NC State is 5-4. Not good losses there, obviously. Georgia Tech still second in the conference, sitting at 5-1. Miami way down there, where they 7th in the conference. They're out of the conference championship race, and I think they're eliminated from the playoff in my eyes.
yeah,
We kind of talked about this. They're a one bid. It's a one bid league. And I mean,
it didn't.
And
have to
who
be
comes?
either.
No, it didn't.
it could have gotten 2 teams in if Miami and Georgia Tech don't be dumb. But
Who do
here
you
we
think?
are.
Who do you think wins the league?
I don't know. It's so
It's wide
weird.
open.
I mean, we're gonna get to it in a second with the playoff projections. Who the projection is right now, which is an interesting projection. Not gonna say what until we get there, but I mean, really, because it's going to be the team that wins the ACC.
Right.
And
Yeah.
right now, there are 6 teams that could win the ACC. 6 teams. Um, Duke, SMU, Louisville, Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech, or Virginia. So technically, any one of those 6 teams could make the playoffs. And that's the only criteria that's going to get an ACC team in is winning their championship. So it's just, who do you think is going to win the championship? And I think that's going to come down to, I would need to look at their schedules and see who I think's the least likely to lose.
Yeah.
Here. And I don't
So
know what the tiebreakers are either.
Pittsburgh has a really tough schedule. They've got Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, and Miami to end the season. Brutal. But they've been playing really, really well. They're probably playing the best out of any team in the ACC right now.
Well, so Georgia Tech and Pittsburgh are going to eliminate each other unless Miami eliminates Pittsburgh before then.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, all these teams play each other too.
Some of these other teams are going to play each other too. So
I think Duke has the softest schedule going forward. Virginia's been playing with its food for this entire season.
I think Virginia, unless they lose to Duke.
What's the rest of their schedule?
Well, even if they lose to Duke. Okay, yeah, I'll go.
So they got Wake Forest. Yeah. So it could watch. Okay, it could be Duke and Virginia meeting in the ACC title. If Duke beats Virginia for a rematch, that would be pretty cool. Honestly. Yeah, Virginia's a lock, right? Unless they choke 2 of these games.
Which they're not going to. I don't.
SMU's probably not going to make it. Louisville's pretty good. California's not bad either.
Yeah, Cal's not a joke. They're not like a great team, but they're not a pushover. And then Louisville, what do they got? They've got SMU, Kentucky, and Clemson. And Cal.
Dang.
So the Kentucky game doesn't matter.
So all of those games are like, who was that again? Louisville?
Yeah.
No, those were against bad teams. Like, those are against teams that they could all lose to.
Yeah,
Georgia. It's very interesting.
The ACC is not a good conference this year.
No, it's not.
But honestly,
it's like Big 12. It's like the Big 12, basically.
I'm gonna be paying because I'm just really curious to see how this plays out. Like,
it's been a fun league.
Paying attention to them is like they are not anywhere near being the best league, but they have been one of the more interesting leagues. Like the Big 12, the Big 12 is similar in a lot of ways, but they're not very. Nothing really interesting is happening in the Big 12.
True.
But here it's like,
last year,
everybody's on the same playing field.
The ACC this year is the Big 12 from last year. And if any of the none of these teams are winning a playoff game. Let me make that clear. Especially if Virginia somehow wins the ACC. I know they're undefeated in conference play, but they've not looked great, honestly. If they're gonna get blown. They're gonna be like 40 points.
Especially if they get put against like.
If they're the 11th seed against. That's the thing. That's the thing. At this point, if any of these teams win the conference, they're probably the 11th seed or the 10th seed. It's going to be G5, 12, Big 12, Big 10.
Which team do you think?
Sorry, Big
the
12.
Highest rank.
The highest seed.
Yeah,
So if Georgia Tech somehow wins out, like that's including being Georgia, they'd
be probably like an 8 or maybe
8, 7 or 8.
Maybe,
If they beat Georgia, they might be like 7.
Yeah, probably.
But that's the only team I think.
That's also putting them at 1 loss too. So.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Because they would be 12-1 with a win against Georgia
right
and
now,
an ACC conference championship.
If I was a betting man, I think Georgia Tech Virginia is the conference championship for them, and one of those 2 teams will get in.
Yeah, I know that's so. Like, I would probably agree with you. I think it's still wide open though.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Pittsburgh has a chance to really shake things up. Because they have a chance. They played Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, and Miami. Like, imagine they went out. That would be crazy. So,
Yeah.
last thing on this, just want you
I
to.
got two. Oh, last thing on this. I thought you were saying.
Sorry, yeah. I just want to mention one more thing. Um, Imagine being the ACC commissioner. How mad would you be that Miami, Florida State, Clemson, and so those three teams are nowhere near
Your big
where they
cash,
should
your
be.
big cash boys are sucking, and that says a
And
lot.
and North Carolina too, a team that has Bill Belichick
All
that you
three of
hyped
these
up.
teams are in a bad conference, and they should be playing
Mhm.
way above the rest of the.
And all three of these teams spend way more money than any of the other teams in the conference spend.
You
So
put a team. You put. I mean, this could be SEC bias, but you put a lot of the SEC teams in this conference, and they're probably close to the top. And I think that says more about this conference. Like those SEC teams wouldn't deserve to be in the playoff just as much as these top ACC teams don't deserve to be in the playoff either. But
yeah.
they would be performing just as good, if not better,
I
as
mean, you
these
put like
top
a
teams.
Missouri in this. You put like Missouri in this conference, and Missouri's probably gonna win the
Heck,
conference.
you put Tennessee in this conference. I think Tennessee wins this conference.
Yeah.
And Tennessee is not a playoff team.
Yeah. So we can move on there. I just wanted to mention being the ACC commissioner must suck right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Hugh Freeze gone. Here we're going to talk about the coaching carousel. Hugh Freeze gone as the Auburn head coach. I think this was like been writing on the wall for the past few weeks here. You just can't lose at home to Kentucky, especially when the crowd's chanting "Fire Freeze" at the end of this one. So yeah, it opens. That's the fourth SEC job that's come open so far: LSU, Florida, Auburn, Arkansas.
Yeah, and I don't
It'll
think
be
a
interesting.
I don't think a single SEC coach was fired last season.
Yeah. We got four already. Still potential for more.
Some of them should have been fired last year, but
True. The thing that sucks. How many like quality head coaches do you think there are for like
not many.
the three of these jobs? Because I wouldn't include Arkansas in this conversation. I would include Auburn, Florida, and LSU. So like that's the other bad thing though. Like Auburn is the worst of the three jobs here. So they're not going to get their top guy. There's no way.
No, I think a lot of these teams are going to end up having to settle because I think the best options at head coach, there's not that many of them, and I don't know. I just
So like, do you think that some of these teams should have moved on last year?
well, I know Arkansas should have for sure moved on.
So
Last
should Florida should have too though.
Yeah,
I think Auburn like it
like,
makes sense to
Florida
give
started
Freeze
playing a little bit better at the end of that season and just kind of saved his career a little bit.
Yeah,
for the time
because
being.
it was Lagway. It was like Lagway's the future.
You knew Napier wasn't going to get it done, so it's like
I know. And you would have been the best job on the market last year by far. So like,
yeah,
you could have actually gotten a really good hire.
and there weren't a lot of other firings outside the SEC either, so there wasn't much competition.
Yeah.
But I just there aren't a lot of great coaches just in general. So like I don't know if there's like maybe 5 up and coming coaches in my opinion. Like there aren't any like home run hires in my opinion. I don't even think Lane Kiffin's a home run hire to be honest with you. I think he's a really good hire, but he's not won a championship. He's not made a playoff yet. He's had really good seasons, but I mean, I don't.
I think he's a home run hire for Arkansas and Auburn.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to Arkansas. What I'm saying is like he's not a home run hire for LSU or Florida. He's a really good hire for both those
schools. He's what they want. But it's like
he's a home run hire for Auburn.
He's one of the best options.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like he's great. He's not like
and it's not a guarantee that he leaves either. I don't think. And what are the odds that one of these teams gets James Franklin, you think? I think pretty
I don't
high.
know. It's not
I
super
could see
low.
him at Auburn. I could see him at Auburn. I could see them being happy with that.
Right now, I'm thinking Virginia Tech. I think if I was Franklin, I'm looking at the ACC and like, I know it's
True.
not like a great conference, but if I can get Virginia Tech, who's got money, to competitive, I just have to beat all these crappy ACC teams, and I'm getting
True.
in the playoff. So I think he's looking at Virginia Tech, but he might take one of these SEC jobs. It's just I think
who
Franklin's
else
gonna
do you
take
think?
wherever he thinks he can win the easiest.
True.
I don't know if any of these SEC jobs are like the SEC is just really tough. I think
it makes sense for Auburn. I don't think it makes sense for LSU or Florida. Like I wouldn't want him at. I like if I was one of those programs, I wouldn't want him at my school. If I was LSU or Florida, I would be cool with it if I was Auburn.
yeah, I think he's a good fit for Auburn.
But what are the chances that like more schools, like what are the chances South Carolina fires Beamer? Or we were talking about Stoops
I think they should,
and Kentucky.
but I think maybe you should wait it out another year, see how it goes, because right now there's just so much coaches already fired. It's like, and that's the thing with Stoops. I don't.
I think Stoops would leave before. I think Stoops and Beamer leave before they get fired.
Yeah, I don't think they're firing Stoops, not because they don't want to fire him. I think they would love to fire him if they could. They're not going to spend the money that they need to fire him.
Yeah, because they spend that money on basketball.
They don't care that much about football, so he's doing enough to where it's like it's whatever. He's not getting us to a bowl game this year, but it's whatever. We want to win a national championship in basketball, so we'll wait it out a couple of years. His buyout will get lower and lower. We just won't give him an extension. He'll be gone. I think worst case scenario for Kentucky fans, he'll be gone within 2 years. But I think this year, just looking at the outlook of just all the other teams with openings, I think it's smart to just wait another year or two for Mark Stoops.
Yeah, plus it's not the worst thing if he just leaves.
Oh, yeah. No,
I know he thought about it last year.
Yeah, he might leave.
And then Beamer, I think Beamer should go to Virginia Tech.
Well, the Virginia Tech boosters apparently want Beamer. Because I think Beamer would.
Why would you not?
I think he would do better at Virginia Tech than South Carolina. I
don't think he's a bad coach.
No, I think he's a.
I think he's a goober. He's a goober, but he's not a bad coach.
He's a goober, but he has some really good aspects to him coaching. I think there's certain things that screw him over, but I think a lot of the things that screw him over aren't going to be as big of a deal in the ACC.
They did fire their offensive coordinator today, Mike Shula. South Carolina did. So a lot of people like to say like you kind of have to fire someone to like appease your boosters or appease your fans. So like it's a firing, but like this is to save his butt. You know what I'm saying? Like this is to give him another year. This isn't really something that's like this gives him another year.
If I was Beamer and Virginia Tech wanted to hire me, I would leave.
I would leave. Oh yeah.
The only thing is I don't know what's his buyout. Does he have a big buyout?
I don't think so, but I'm not exactly sure.
If he doesn't have a big buyout where he gets fired, he gets millions and millions of dollars, he should leave.
He just seems like the guy that would just leave before it goes south, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do you think Clark? So he only has a $5 million. He only has a $5 million buyout. If he leaves for another job, wait. He owes $5 million if he leaves for another job.
They owe him if they fire him.
$27 million, which isn't terrible.
It's that's a lot of money. I think when we fired Butch Jones, it wasn't anywhere near that.
Well, I guess I was comparing it to the $50 million that LSU and Florida just.
That's just how stupid college football's got. Yeah. Because I think when Butch Jones got fired, it was probably like 15 million or 10 million.
Yeah, a lot of money. That sounds right.
That's how much it's changed since Tennessee fired Butch.
Do you think Clark leaves Vanderbilt?
I don't know. That's tough. It's tough.
He's a Vanderbilt grad, I think.
Yeah, it's tough because he's a Vandy grad, and I think he would love. to stay at Vanderbilt and build a successful program at Vanderbilt. But I just think in the long term, Vanderbilt is not a school that you can be successful at. And I think Vanderbilt is putting more money into it. And I think in the long run, they're going to be a decent team. Even if Clark leaves, they're a good enough program now to where they could consistently get to a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not going to be a consistent playoff team, even with Clarkley at as their coach. It's very likely that they won't get to a playoff even this year.
Right.
I think Clarkley,
What he's done is crazy impressive.
if he's thinking about himself and not just, oh, I love this university, he would leave. So I don't know. I think it's kind of like a 60-40 thing. I think if I was a university right now that needed a coach, he would be one of my first calls, I think.
I think so too. I think LSU and Florida and Auburn probably all call him.
Yeah,
I think he'd be stupid to leave it for Auburn.
Yeah.
But I could see him leaving for Florida or LSU.
Yeah, I think Florida would be a good spot for him. LSU would be a good spot. I don't think Auburn would be a horrible spot for him.
I just don't think that's is that really an upgrade? Historically, that is majorly. But
There is
Auburn's
a lot. Auburn cares a lot more about football, and I know.
When's the last time Auburn's been good?
2015, 14.
So it's been like 10 years.
Well, I know they had some good seasons here and there. They had 2019. I think they had a good season. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't think it's.
Auburn has a lot more money than Vanderbilt.
True.
And they have a lot more fans than Vanderbilt.
Better facility. They get way better facilities.
Better tradition. Vanderbilt has more money into football now, but football will never be first at Vanderbilt. Academics is always going to be first, and then baseball, and then football, and then basketball.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, as a Vanderbilt, like he's a Vanderbilt grad. Like, you don't leave for Auburn, right? You leave for like LSU or Florida, right? I mean, like, you see what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
Like the difference between an Auburn and a Vanderbilt currently as it stands is Vanderbilt's better. But you leave for a Florida or LSU because you can win a national championship there.
Yeah.
Like LSU probably pretty quickly. Florida would take some time, but
yeah, and I honestly think he would win a national championship at LSU. Florida, I don't know, but LSU, I think he would win a natty. But it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah,
and I think over the next few weeks and going into the year, I think we're gonna have a lot.
I'm gonna be really excited to cover this because it's gonna be really cool and really fun to follow.
Once December gets here too, I think
a
lot of our content. Once football has died down, I mean, we're gonna have playoff content, but we're gonna have probably a lot of videos on.
Yeah, but that's only 12 teams, and like most of these coaches aren't going to be in the playoffs, so they're going to be gone. They're going to be at these new schools like really soon after the season.
That's the interesting thing with Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin is he can't leave Ole Miss before he's knocked out of the playoffs.
Right.
So with these teams, they want Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is Florida's number one choice right now. The boosters want him, and if they can, they're going to hire him. If Lane will come, they will hire him.
So
are they willing to wait?
Yeah.
He's not going to leave.
He's not a guarantee, too. So like, you're going to see maybe some of these teams wait until mid-December, late December, early January. You're like,
and
who are they waiting for?
It's kind of screwed because you want to get a coach in December at least so they can start getting recruits, getting all this. You wait till then. Lane Kiffin's not gonna like sign a contract before he leaves Ole Miss because that's gonna distract from the team. But he could do something where he makes a verbal commit to the university. He's like, if y'all wait for me, I'm gonna come, but I need to see this out. But if say for instance, Ole Miss makes it really far in the playoffs, or they're not gonna win the national championship. But if for some reason they won the national championship, he's not gonna leave Ole Miss.
Yeah, I mean.
And even if he's made that verbal commit, you've screwed yourself. If he's like, oh, this university's special now. I know. I feel like I can do it with them. He might stay, and so it's not a sure thing if he's just making a verbal commit. So it's just gonna be really interesting. to see what
Yeah,
these
you're
teams
right.
decide to
Like,
do.
that's the thing. Like, you can't if you're a program like this, you can't risk making a bad hire though. At the same time, right?
Yeah,
Like, it's just such a tricky
sets you back
spot.
at minimum 2 years if you make a
So
bad
you
hire.
can't settle, but you can't wait. It's really hard spot to be in. That's why I'm saying. That's why I brought up earlier. So many like big openings. It's a bad year to be open because you might have to end up settling for someone that was like your sixth option or something close to that.
And the grass isn't always
So
greener either.
nope.
It sometimes it might be better to wait a few years, just kind of wait it out. If your coach, I think a lot of these teams are pulling the trigger too fast because your coach, yeah, he's not going to win a national championship. Yeah, it's whatever, but he's still winning 8, 9 games, which
I'm
is
trying to think
not
though, like
great, but like,
yeah,
but it's good enough to
who
keep your program steady. Like I think once you're like losing really bad games, you're losing recruits, it's all going downhill. That's maybe when you want to fire him. But you're when like Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly was never going to win a national championship at LSU, and he was doing bad. But maybe you wait a year because there's a lot of other openings. You could maybe wait a year, get a better coach.
yeah.
And so
I
I just
think
think a lot
I
of these
think
teams are pulling the trigger too fast.
I think
I think
that's the
once
only
you
team
listen
that
now,
did though. I think that's the only team that pulled the
Penn
trigger too
State
fast.
maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
yes, because like you think about it, like Mike Norvell last year at Florida State went 2-10. Coming off an undefeated season. Penn State was like, it isn't even going to finish 2-10, and you pulled the trigger that fast on James Franklin. It's like
Yeah.
probably should have given him another
The
year.
good thing about Penn State though is
Uh,
their schedule next year is really easy.
mhm.
They're going to be able to get really good transfers in with whatever coach they bring in. So I think they'll have a pretty nice season as long as they get a decent coach next year.
And they should.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're
la-
going to be fine, but
yeah.
LSU might be a little more difficult. I think they
Last,
might have a worse season next year, even with a good coach.
true.
But
Last thing I was going to touch on here before we moved on to playoff projection. Um, did you see Dabo Swinney's comments at the end of the Clemson game? He
was it
said
about him? Like, I
he said he
expected
expect to be he said he was expected to be fired. Yeah. He won't get fired, I don't think. But that's just a goofy. He's just
What's their record right now? What are they at? I have
3-5.
Hey, to all you Tennessee fans, if you're watching, could be worse. We could be Clemson right now. Could be way worse. And not just there are a lot of teams. It could be way worse right now. And I know
With an established coach that's been there for forever, you expect
really-
way more out of that.
it's really the Tennessee season. It's not gone exactly how we would have wanted it.
Mhm.
But the grass isn't always greener on the
Yeah.
other side. It could be way worse. And I think, yeah. But let's get into
Getting into these playoff projections. It's Bud Elliott's Week 11 playoff projection. This is a model. I stressed this last week. This is a model. This is not his opinion because this would be a crazy opinion. This is very similar to what Josh Pate does with rankings, power ratings. Look at this. Look at this. We're going to go through this real quick. Ohio State number 1. A&M number 2. Indiana 3. Tech 4. Bama 5. Georgia 6, Ole Miss 7, Oklahoma 8, Notre Dame 9, Washington 10, Duke 11, North Texas 12. Where do you want to attack this?
See, the top 7's not crazy. The top 7, honestly, I think is very likely to happen.
I would
I think
switch.
Ole Miss, Georgia,
I would
A&M,
switch Texas Tech and Alabama. But yeah.
Yeah, I think Texas
Yeah.
A&M, Indiana, Ohio State, Texas Tech, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss. They're all locks. 5 SEC teams is wild.
I think it's very possible.
It's
So
possible.
I guess this is like Oklahoma wins out. Wait, what is this? No. This is 9-3 Oklahoma.
That's
So I don't know.
how's that possible?
Okay. Because the team that has the most likely chance to go 9-3 and make the playoffs is Oklahoma, based on their schedule. They have one of the toughest schedules in the country.
This is so unlikely though. I just think this whole.
So let's break this down a little bit.
How's Washington getting in over Oregon?
They play head to head. So
How
this
many
would
losses
be
does Washington have?
2. So this would be Washington winning out and Oregon losing to Washington.
And Oregon only has one loss, though, right?
Yes. Okay. So let's break this down how we actually think this is going to be, because this is actually a wild projection. So I like the placement of the ACC champ being at 11.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, which is
Duke, though.
we think. If I had to guess right now, it would be Georgia Tech still. I think
Georgia Tech maybe move up to maybe if Washington's in, Georgia Tech's probably gonna pass Washington. Georgia Tech would be the 10 seed in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I don't know.
So I also don't. Okay. So we kind of break this down here. I don't even know where to start here, but we'll kind of start with the Big Ten. I think we'll just do it by conference here. I almost would guarantee there's only going to be 3 Big Ten teams to make the playoffs. And out of those 3, Ohio State, Indiana are Sharpie teams right now, in my opinion. I think they're both in no matter what.
They're probably both get buys.
They both get buys. I think they're almost Sharpie buys as well, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think it's going to be Washington. I think it will be Oregon, and I could see them being around that 10 spot. I don't think they get more than 3 teams in. I think it's going to be really, really hard to do.
If it's Oregon, they're probably a higher seed.
Probably. Yeah.
They're probably like if Oklahoma got in, for instance, they're probably going to be the 8th seed instead of Oklahoma.
Sure.
Also, how is Oklahoma the 8th seed if they're 9-3 in this?
I don't know. This projection makes almost no sense. I like we'll go SEC here. I like the 4 teams. I like Texas A&M. I like Bama, Georgia, and Ole Miss to make the playoff. I think it's not Oklahoma. I think the only one here. I think the 2 Sharpie teams. Huh?
I don't think 5 teams for the SEC get in.
I don't think so. But here you got to think about it though. The way it's going is Big 12, ACC, Group of 5. All only get 1 team in. That leaves 9 spots, 3 to Big 10, so that's 6 spots. Notre Dame, he has winning out here. There's not a guarantee they do that. That's an independent, and then that's 5 spots left.
I think this season is showing us. So last season kind of showed why maybe we need more than 12 teams. I think this season's showing that 12. Like, I don't think every year it's going to be the same. Like, some years I think it's going to be like, oh, there are so many good teams that it's really hard. 12 is not enough. But then there's years like this where, honestly, a lot of the teams that are making the playoffs don't deserve to be in.
Yeah. I mean, for your point is 9-3 Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. And honestly, in a perfect world, I think 8-team playoff would be the perfect
I think so too.
College football.
Mm-hmm.
But it's people want more games. It's more entertainment. But in reality, I think 8 would be the perfect number because there are not more than 8 teams that are going to win the national championship. And I think there's enough to tell. The problem is with the 8 teams is a lot of the top 8 are going to probably deserve to be SEC and Big Ten teams.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the 12, it gives them a little wiggle room to be like, oh, yeah, these teams don't deserve to be in. We can't leave them out because they're the conference champion or they're whatever. So I think that's the one thing the 12-team playoff does for us. But in reality, if you could just decide the top 8 teams, an 8-team playoff would be much better.
I think that would be ideal. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, once you get into some of these teams, like 5 SEC teams getting in would be pretty wild. That's a third of the conference.
5 SEC teams don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I'm a
No.
SEC. The SEC is better than every other conference. Like, I will not deny that. But 5 SEC teams don't deserve to be competing for a national championship. Right, as what I've seen.
I totally agree. I mean, like
honestly, I think only two two Big Ten teams really deserve to be competing for it. Like I don't think Oregon's really that. Oregon's not impressed me. Washington definitely isn't impressed me.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the weirdest one I've seen so far. The cool part is on Tuesday, the official, the first official college football ranking show will be premiering. That'll be really exciting to see. Um, but I will be really interested to see what they have set up for that. But yeah, crazy rankings. I think the Big 12 champ is probably accurate. I think it's probably Texas Tech. I think Texas A&M probably wins the SEC. Ohio State probably wins the Big Ten. ACC, I think is probably wrong. I mean, the ACC is wide open. It could be anyone. It could be like 6 teams at this point. Group of 5. I don't see North Texas getting in with a head-to-head loss against USF. I think I guess it's a rematch game or something in the AAC championship.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, the group of 6 is wide open, so that'll be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting for sure.
But yeah, with that, we'd like to thank you all for tuning into this show. A little week 10 review here. Talked about a lot of stuff in this one. Had a lot of fun. Be sure to subscribe to the channel on the road to 100 subscribers. Like the video, comment, share this thing out. But yeah, I'm Trev. That's Lev. And this was the Trev and Lev Show right here on YouTube.com. And we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.